Good evening. Welcome to the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. I am Mike Babicz, your host, the voice of the Wilmot Raceway and other area racing from time to time. And certainly do want to thank B&L Office Furniture. Scott Carpenter does a great job providing us with my in-studio studio. I also want to thank a new sponsor coming on board this week, John Hatterline, attorney at law, Force One Performance, of course, B&L Office Furniture, the Great Lakes Dragaway. We're going to be broadcasting from the Great Lakes Dragaway next Wednesday, July the 3rd. Wednesday, July 3rd, I'm going to be out at Great Lakes Dragaway for Ladies' Night, and I'm going to be talking to some of the competitors out there. And John, our weekly reporter from Great Lakes Dragaway, I'll actually have him in person. So that'll be next Wednesday night, July 3rd, out at Great Lakes Dragaway. Also want to thank Steve Sinclair and the Interstate Racing Association, and also Wilmot Raceway. Speaking of, and Fox Lake Harbor, we've got them up there as well. The Hunt Club of Richmond, also a great sponsor and marketing partner of ours. And we appreciate all of our marketing partners. Do we have any more there, Kent? We're going to show. We can get through them all right now. Olson Transportation, Midwest Motor Coach, MLS Auto Clinic, Eddie and Debbie Boyd, Impressions Count here in Antioch. Randy and his crew do a great job. We Be Waxin in Antioch. Chad does a great job cleaning your vehicle, no matter whether it's a car, a truck, a motorcycle, even a boat. Bodycraft, Mark and Tony Maglio, longtime supporters of racing, and they provide the pace truck for Wilmot Raceway and the IRA. Buddies, we're going to be heading out to Buddies real soon, so stay tuned for that. Buddies located on Green Street in McHenry. Culver's of Paddock Lake. We're going to be doing something with them in August, and actually we may be doing something with them coming up soon. Again, stay tuned. We mentioned Steve Sinclair and the IRA. We're going to be talking to Lauren Kelly, who was the voice of the IRA this last week in Indiana. We're going to talk to him a little bit later on. Lake County Honor Flight, the Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse, A-Main Apparel and Diecast, the Tennyson family, always great supporters of the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report, and Bill Fusting and his fine crew at Lake County Hose and Equipment also help us out. 5-Star Race Car Bodies, they do a great job. Daniel Sanchez that I work with up there, and looking forward to having them out at Wilmot Raceway coming up on a Monday on July the 29th. When the World of Outlaw late models come to town. Nielsen Enterprises, they're going to host a very special lemonade stand this coming Saturday from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m., till 1 p.m., and that's going to benefit a young lady by the name of Naomi, who's got some health issues. And so if you can, stop by Nielsen's on Milwaukee Avenue there in Lake Villa between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Saturday. And there's also, you can go to their Facebook page. They've got information how you can actually donate to the young lady's cause online. And we certainly want to help them out with that. They're also supporters of the Wilmot Raceway's fire safety team. Libertyville Manor, if you're looking for a place for your older person, your elderly member of your family, they also have adult daycare now available. Libertyville Manor, Generations of Care, Young at Heart Preschool on Buckley Road, also known as Peterson in Libertyville. Also, the Monster Truck Throwdown. They're going to be coming to Sycamore Raceway very, very soon, Sycamore Speedway. Check out Monster Truck Throwdown's website for information on that. And as I just mentioned, John Hatterline, attorney at law, also helping us out. And also that'll be coming up real, real soon. So I want to thank all those fine folks that work with us and help us out. Also want to thank Dave's American Muffler, Discount Muffler. They actually provided a place for the Bodycraft Pace Truck to park last Friday night during the Kenosha Kingfish game, at which it was also Wilmot Raceway and Kenosha County Fair night as well. Hey, Sean checking in. Great to see you, Sean. We've been praying for you, buddy. Continue to get better, get well, and we want to see you back at Wilmot Raceway real soon. Well, speaking of Wilmot Raceway, less than an hour ago, the announcement was made that the planned carload and fireworks night that was scheduled for Tuesday, July 2nd, has been moved. It is going to be Monday, July the 1st. Again, that's Monday, July 1st will be the carload and fireworks night at Wilmot Raceway. That decision made because the long-range forecast has been staying fairly consistent. There's going to be a lot of precipitation on Tuesday, so the program has been moved to Monday. This announcement just made a short time ago on Wilmot Raceway's Facebook page. You can go there or go to their website for more information on all the details. But basically, it's the same show and plan. $30 a carload for everybody that's safely seat belted in. You'll pay as you come onto the fairgrounds. And then also the great racing program that we're going to have. We're going to have the 604 winged crate cars. We're also going to have the wingless cars as well as the bandits. So 3 divisions in action this coming Monday, July 1st. Plan on being at Wilmot Raceway. Again, the announcement just made about 1 hour ago. And for more details, we recommend that you go to wilmotraceway.com or check the official Wilmot Raceway Facebook page. Now, that does not mean that we're not racing Saturday. We are still racing this Saturday, June the 29th, with Saturday Night Thunder, featuring the 1175 Sports Complex IRA Lightning Sprints, IMCA Modifieds, Unified Street Stocks, and the Bandits. The Bandits, sponsored by our good friends B&L Office Furniture, as well as American Tire and Auto Repair out of Kenosha. And American Tire and Auto Repair is going to host a big event this coming Sunday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., a car show. It is free. Everybody can come on out. That's Sunday in the Pershing Plaza at American Tire and Auto Repair. Yep, there you see all the information. The Great American Tire and Auto Repair Car Show this coming Sunday, June the 30th, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. So come on out. We're going to have some race cars there. The Wilmot Raceway Pace Truck with a Bodycraft M3 Custom Graphics Pace Truck is going to be there. I know Scott Carpenter is bringing his Bandit, and we expect a lot of other race cars to be there as well. We also understand that there's going to be some folks as well with some drag cars. Hey, hello from Chat Daddy up there all the way in Green Bay. That's right. We got them listening and tuning in from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Glad to see you. And looking forward to seeing Chatty Matty down at Wilmot Raceway real soon. Again, I did mention about the Nielsen Enterprises Lemonade Stand supporting Naomi's First Steps. That's this Saturday, 11 to 1. And also go to Snarf Foods. Shelly does a great job. She is very giving, helps out the Lake County Honor Flight and other organizations. And she's got a Snacks for the Troops First Responders fundraiser going now. You can buy or sponsor for $15 a bag of snacks that will go to first responders or military, or sometimes they also gave them to the veterans and that on the Honor Flight, the Lake County Honor Flight. So check that out, Snarf Foods, on your Facebook page or your website, and help out Shelly. She's trying to get to 200 bags. She's at 120 something. So if everybody that's tuned in right now just gets one bag, that'll put her at her goal. So help her out. All right. Well, we're going to start off. Is John with us yet from Great Lakes Dragaway? I'm double checking with Kent. and he will let me know if John is there. If John is not there, then we're going to start out with Rusty Egan. We're going to no John yet. Okay, we're going to go with Rusty Egan then. Rusty is joining us. He is one of our Wisconsin wingless sprint drivers who also is running in the points for the Wilmot wingless sprints for their championship series this year. They're kind of having two championships at Wilmot, the drivers battling at the same time. So again, welcome Rusty to the program. We were joking earlier that I've known you actually before you were selling programs and checkered flags at Wilmot. Probably before you were even a twinkle in your mom and dad's eye. But you've come a long way and now having some success in the wingless sprint cars. And welcome to the program, and tell folks a little bit about your racing background and career.
Thanks for having me, Mike. I've been around racing my entire life. My dad started like a year before I was born. And when I was like 11 or 12, I started racing go-karts. And then when I was 15, I got into a wing sprint car. And did that through most of the years on and off. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, we started with a non-wing car.
And now this year, you've had some success already this year, but how many feature wins do you have thus far in your career in the wingless?
I think 6.
And one so far this year, am I correct? At Wilmot, that is?
Yeah, we won opening night there. So
a good way to start off the season. And
yeah.
I must confess, I was looking at the points, and then now I'm forgetting. Are you still leading in the wingless points at Wilmot?
I don't think I'm leading anymore. My wife would probably know that. She watches that stuff a lot more, I think.
Speaking of point standings and point championships, I mean, do you worry about that? Or like you just said, your wife keeps an eye on that. Do you just, hey, I'm just going out each night to race and do the best I can?
I just go out every night and race and do the best I can, and the points will fall where they fall. My son, sometimes he's a bit of a points racer, but I don't get into it. So
now your son actually is doing a little racing already himself, correct?
Yep. He won the championship last year down at Bomers in Pontiac, Illinois. My daughter's starting this year now too. So,
well, and what are their names? You just said son and daughter.
Go
ahead. Give them a shout.
My son is Blake, and my daughter's Alyssa.
All right, Blake and Alyssa now we got another generation of Egans, and you know, I presume sometime I'm going to probably get lucky enough to announce them at Wilmot. We'll see what happens there. But,
Blake's kind of waiting to kick me out of the seat, so I don't think my wife's too thrilled. But
and what is the requirements there for someone to be able to race at Wilmot in either a wingless or a wing car or even a bandit? We're going to have some bandit drivers on a little later in the program.
So I honestly don't know. I don't know if it's 14 or 15 that they can start. I'm pretty sure 15 is the latest. But possibly as early as 14.
I think you're right. I think last week when we had Clayton Rossman on, we were talking with him about that because he actually won the championship at Wilmot at age 15. And he finally just graduated from high school about 4 weeks ago, and he said he missed graduation because he was racing. But still got his diploma from Chatty Matty at the races. So.
Yeah, I call these guys all kids now. I feel like the old guy in the group. So,
and how young are you?
38.
38. Well, I'm got you by a few years. Not quite too many, but a few. And now you were around Dad and his racing for a long time. What was it about the racing that kind of the racing bug that kind of bit you? What got you really interested and got you going?
It's all I knew. Since I was born, I spent every moment I was at home pretty much in the shop working on cars. When I was a little kid, my dad would have to carry me in the house because I'd fall asleep in the garage. I was never wanting to go inside. So,
and I know you kind of continued in a tradition. Your dad and your mom used to bring the car all over the place. I can remember us being in the parking lot, and I think I just saw some pictures the other day when I was going through some pictures here at home. of us being at Carthage College.
Oh, yeah.
And we were parked out in the parking lot outside their field house, and we had, I think we had about 4 or 5 cars. I think the late Dave Holden, I think his car was there too. He used to come out to a lot of shows and do a lot of things. And I know you do that too. So, we got the holidays coming up. I know the 4th of July, we're going to have the Bodycraft M3 Custom Graphics, the Wilmot Raceway IRA Pace Truck is going to be in the Antioch Parade. And I know the fairest of the fair of Kenosha County Fair, she's going to be in the Summers Parade. And I know we've got some other folks going to different parades. You got any plans for the 4th or around the 4th yet?
I don't really have any plans for any kind of parades. I'm trying to find some races to take my kids to. We've also got some family coming in town. So, but if I can find some races to take the kids to, that's where we'll be. So.
All righty. Well, I think you may want to check. I think Slinger's running that weekend. I know Wilmot's off after next Monday, the 1st. We're off till we actually, I think, got to look on my schedule here. I think we're off until we bring in the World of Outlaws. Oh, no, I take that back. No, yeah, till the Outlaws come in.
Yeah, we're going to take them to race their go-kart, so they're going to race themselves. So.
Oh, there you go. There you go. And now, I noticed that we've got probably 4 or 5 different drivers that have kids that are racing go-karts now. I know Colin Sivia's also racing, and
yep.
And I know the Matthews, their son, actually, I think they kind of got out of racing the sprint cars so that they could devote more time to their son's racing.
Okay. Yeah, I know like Kenzie Mall's racing, Gianni's racing, or he's going to start racing, which is Alan Hafford's kid or stepson. But
yeah, you guys, the Wilmot gang will have their own race, their own division pretty soon.
Yeah, it's pretty close to it.
So now you mentioned, how mom's a little nervous about your son Blake getting into a regular sprint car. What about Dad? Is Dad ready for Blake to get into a regular sprint car and maybe move you aside out of the seat, or maybe you race against each other for a little while?
No, I'm ready. I won't race against him, but he's ready. I'm ready. We just got to wait for him to get up there in age. So
there you go. Well, we know you've got a lot to do to get the car ready now. Now this weekend, you're off from Wilmot, but you guys actually got 2 days of racing, Friday and Saturday, if I'm correct. Give us a little bit of the Wisconsin winless schedule for this coming weekend.
It's actually Saturday up at Beaver Dam, and then Sunday at Angel Park.
Okay, and then now Monday at Wilmot. So
yep.
now you got a triple header 3 days in a row. You've got 3 kind of different racetracks a little bit. How do you as a driver prepare the car to run 3 different racetracks and have to do it 3 nights in a row?
It's just some small tweaks in the car and the suspension and a shock package a little bit. Otherwise, I pretty much unload the same.
Now, I know Dad is very involved with you. Russ or Rusty Egan. I always called him Rusty before you became Rusty. But how much does he give you input on the car, and how much do you just say, Dad, that's how you did it back then. This is how the cars work today?
We have 2 totally different driving styles from what he had. But I mean, he's there all the time. I don't think he's ever missed a race. He's with me every night in the pits, doing all kinds of stuff. He's still my motor guy. So.
Well, that's an important thing. So, again, we're gonna let you go here, but I always give the drivers an opportunity to credit their marketing partners, the people that help get them to a racetrack each and every week, and they're going to help you with the triple header this weekend. So now's the time, Rusty.
Well, the number one who's letting me do it is my wife and my kids. And then my crew, my dad and Chris, Comfort Awnings, Shepherd Premier Senior Living, American Muffler and Automotive, Don's Machine Shop, Jack, Bumper to Bumper of Burlington. And then, of course, I want to thank all the fans.
That's for sure. Without the fans, we wouldn't have anywhere to race.
That's right.
We'd be all looking at each other, and I'd be talking to myself, which some people say I do that already. But anyway, well, we wish you the best this coming weekend, and I'll be watching on Flow Racing. Probably on. I'll watch the replay on Saturday, and then I'll watch it on Sunday, probably live. And then I'll look forward to seeing you out at Wilmot on Monday for the carload and fireworks night.
Sounds good, Mike. We'll see you Monday.
All right. Take care. God bless. We'll see you. Tell everybody hello.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye. That was Rusty Egan. It's hard to, do I call him Russ? Do I call him Rusty? Again, a second-generation driver who's got a son and a daughter now getting ready to race too. So, well, we're going to kind of shift gears a little bit. Actually, I think I'm going to get him on a little bit earlier than I had planned. I hope I'm not throwing him too much of a curveball. But see if Lauren Kelly is ready to join us, the voice of the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars, fresh off the back nine somewhere. And appreciate him taking the time. I enjoy working with Lauren when I get a chance to do that at Wilmot, and we'll be doing that again, I think, in a few weeks. So I'll be looking forward to that. But Lauren, welcome to the program. We've been trying to do this for a while, and I'm glad it finally worked out. And first of all, how'd the golfing go today? And I'm not hearing Lauren. And I'll try it again, Lauren. Maybe you were muted on your end.
You got me now?
Yep, got you now.
Yeah, it actually wasn't that good, but it was still a fun time. I mean, golfing's great. Went out with a buddy, so it was a good time.
That's always the main thing. And as they say, a bad day of golf is still better than a good day sitting home watching it rain.
That's right.
Well, we had to watch it rain last Saturday at Wilmot. Actually, we had rain Friday night and then got really blasted on Saturday, particularly about the time we would have been, maybe doing the B mains or something like that at Wilmot if we had tried to race on Saturday night. Unfortunately, canceling the USAC, the national series that was going to be coming to town. And they also had to cancel their program at Angel Park on Sunday. They got over 5 inches of rain up at Angel Park. They actually pulled the plug on that Saturday morning just before Wilmot canceled. So, but down in Indiana, I was tuning in, watching on Flow Racing. And I'll tell you, you did a great job. You called a great weekend with Pat. And from what I understand, talking to Steve a little bit, he's a Hall of Famer. That you worked with this weekend, and you guys sounded like you'd been doing it for 100 years. You did a great job, and tell the folks a little bit about the racing in the 4 days, where the different tracks the IRA went to, and who the big guns were and big winners were, and maybe who from the IRA impressed you.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, working with Pat was amazing. He's a great guy. You said it sounded like we'd worked together forever. I mean, he made it that way. He was just very welcoming. Of course, we were the guests there this last weekend, unlike when we raced in Wisconsin or whatever. So it was kind of up in the air. It's always an unknown when you go to work with some new people, but everybody down there was great, including Pat. But yeah, the racing was amazing. And you talked about USAC raining out up here. I mean, of course, that's terrible, and we hate it for everybody up here, but we actually benefited a little bit from that because we had some guys stay down in Indiana for a little bit longer. Obviously, we had Brady Bacon run Thursday and Friday with us, and then he was planning on coming up here, and then he decided to stay back down in Indiana and race another night down there. And then we had one of the USAC teams actually run their wing car down there with us on Saturday and Sunday as well. So it was a great time. 4 races down there. I'd been to 2 of the tracks that we ran there before, but 2 completely new places for me. Lincoln Park Speedway on Thursday was fantastic. It's one of the best races of our entire season so far, and one of the best races I've seen in a long time between Emerson Axum and Ayrton Jennington, and then Chris Wyndham as well, of course, USAC Triple Crown winner. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday were great races as well at Bloomington, Tri-State, and Terre Haute. Tri-State's one of my favorite tracks that I've ever been to, and one of my favorite tracks to watch racing at. And to see Tyler Courtney, just kind of dice the field up on Saturday was fantastic. And then obviously Terre Haute, which half miles normally aren't known for that good of racing, but Terre Haute was prepped fantastically. Some people down there said that was the best that they've ever seen that place. It kind of lended itself to some pretty big slide jobs and things like that, which normally you don't usually see on a big flat half mile like that. But and then Tyler Courtney made one of the passes of the year so far to win that race, and really good run from Noah Gass there, running second. It was just cool to see some drivers and some teams that we don't normally see up here in Wisconsin. And of course, some of those teams will probably be the only time we see them all year. But as far as teams from the IRA that really impressed, for sure, Jake Blackhurst and Scotty Thiel, they were kind of the ones fighting up front for most of the 4 days, especially Jake Blackhurst actually went quick time on Sunday. And then Scotty Thiel ended up on the podium at the big half mile, which was very impressive from the number 73. And then some other guys that made a bunch of the features, of course, Tyler Rankin, Jordan Goldsberry made 2 out of the 4 features as well. And then some other part-time IRA members like Bryce Norris, Ayrton Jeniton, a bunch of those guys, Max Guilford in the 79, the Auckland, New Zealand driver. It was just a great 4-race swing. I think it was huge for the IRA. I mean, you looking at the social media buzz around the 4-day swing when, people were kind of just starved for sprint car racing with Huset's canceling, and the only really other big sprint car races going on were out in Pennsylvania or out in Washington at Skagit. So as far as in the Midwest, we were kind of it. And I think we, as far as us with the IRA and our broadcast team and everybody involved and all the drivers, all the teams, the staff members, I think we really put on a great 4-race swing in Indiana.
Yeah, you guys did do a great job, and a lot of big guns. We had CJ Leary here on the program last week, and he looked like he had the Silver Crown race in the bag, and then a flat tire sent him to the back on the restart at Madison on Friday, and then he obviously was planning on coming over to Wilmot on Saturday and Angel Park on Sunday, and then that did not work out. And currently there is no makeup date for that we're going to go to for USAC. It's just it's extremely difficult to get them. They've got a very busy schedule, a very tight schedule, and it's unfortunately I don't think we're going to be able to get them back this year. We're just going to have to wait till next year for the USAC swing to come through Wilmot once again, and Angel Park. So hopefully we can do that soon. Now this coming week, the IRA, the wing cars, the 410s, the bumper to bumper series, you guys are heading to Outagamie on Friday. Have I got that right? I love trying to pronounce some of these towns sometimes. And then Saturday night, Beaver Dam, correct?
Yes, that's correct. It's going to be a good weekend. Obviously, Outagamie on Friday opens up fair season in Wisconsin. They actually moved their fair up a couple weeks from the past couple of years, and fair season's great. It's always fun for the families and everything because you can kind of hang out at the fair all day and then watch some great racing as well. And then Saturday back at Beaver Dam, an all open wheel show with us, the Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Car Series, and then the Badger Midgets as well at Beaver Dam on Saturday. And then I think I'm going to head down to Angel Park Speedway on Sunday as well to call some wingless racing down there. I always love going to Angel Park and working with Eric Hienefeld down there when he's calling the Badger Midgets. So going to be a fun 3-race weekend for me and obviously for the IRA, 2 shows. Had some great racetracks, and the points battle is really, really heating up between Scotty Thiel and Jake Blackhurst, and then the cars behind them as well, like Danny Schleifer, Scotty Neitzel, and Jordan Goldsberry. So this is kind of a pivotal moment of the year because we've got a couple-week break after this, of course, because the Outlaws are going to be at Wilmot, and then another week after that before we head to another big swing for us way out of the state of Wisconsin over in River Cities in North Dakota. So it's going to be a really big weekend for these guys to kind of get some momentum into this 2-week break before we head up to the north. So,
and you're also going to make a stop, I believe, on the 18th of July in Minnesota, correct?
Yep, brand new track for us at Norman County Raceway. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I know next to nothing about that track, and I think most of the IRA is in the same boat as far as the drivers and the team. So it's kind of an unknown for everybody. But the things that I have heard about it is that it's a great facility. And it's literally right on the way to River City, so not far out of the way for anybody going up there. And it really makes sense to run that on that Thursday before River Cities. We had good success doing that at I-94 last year. So it's just going to be a little bit different for everybody. Again, it was kind of the same thing at I-94 last year. Nobody really knew what to expect, but it put on a great race, and hopefully looking forward to the same thing at Norman County. And then River Cities is one of my favorite races of the year. It's one of my favorite racetracks. I don't think I've ever seen a bad race at River Cities, and it's going to be great. It's always fun seeing all of our friends with the NOSA Sprint Car Series up there, and of course everyone with Buffalo Wild Wings helping to put that weekend on. It's just a great time, and we're really fortunate with the IRA to be able to run a bunch of different places like that. Of course, we did the Indiana swing, which is amazing, but to go back to River Cities for 3 years in a row, I think really shows that, we can put on some really good shows and work together with a series like NOSA and a great track like River Cities, and of course the great people with Buffalo Wild Wings helping to put everything on.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, and if you want to make it 4 days, you're welcome to come down and join me on Monday night at Wilmot. We got the wingless running. We got the 604 crate wing cars are going to run on Monday, and the bandits and fireworks too. I mean, if Lauren Kelly comes to the house, we're going to shoot fireworks off for him.
I think I saw that Angel Park on Sunday is their fireworks night too. So I'd have 2 fireworks nights back to back. So I'd have to bring the earplugs with. But no, it's that'd be fun. I'll think about that. I'll have to see if I can get down there on Monday. But it's gonna be a fun weekend either way. I really like Outagamie. I think it's one of the better 410 tracks in Wisconsin as far as just racing goes. And unfortunately we had it rain out last year. I know there might be a little bit of rain in the forecast for Friday, but I think it keeps getting pushed later and later. So hoping that just kind of goes away before Friday. But I think when it's prepped right, it's fantastic. And of course we know how good Beaver Dam can be for 410 sprint cars. Didn't really get a normal race there early in the season with how cold it was and the amount of rain that they'd had. So looking forward to a more normal Beaver Dam this Saturday night.
And, before I let you go, I got to ask you this one. You have come a long ways. You're doing a great job. You and Maddie, when you guys work together on the IRA shows, you guys are a great team. And I love working with you guys when you come into Wilmot, and look forward to you Fair Night. And of course, it'll probably be the next time we have an IRA show. Yep. But also, I think we may end up working together for the World of Outlaws on the wingless side of things coming up in just a couple weeks. Where did Lauren get started in racing and get his interest in racing, and how did you get started announcing?
So I actually, I tell this to a lot of people, but I grew up on the backstretch of the Plymouth dirt track, literally. I lived on the back straightaway in one of those houses that everybody sees when you go to Plymouth. And my grandparents lived right across the street. So my grandpa started taking me to races when I was 1.5, I think was my first race in 1998. And he started taking me to Road America. We'd go to Plymouth, Manitowoc when that was still open, Dodge County, Slinger, everywhere that we could go. We go to races, and, he started introducing me to all these drivers and stuff like Butchie Haithman, Tim McMullen, all the great guys that ran Super Wing Modifieds back in the day. And then obviously when the Super Wing Modified switched over to sprint cars, I was, of course, hooked. And whenever the IRA came to town, that was like the biggest, thing, because Plymouth never really got the World of Outlaws besides, 2 races, I think in 2004 and 2005. So, I was always like, my dream was to work with the IRA or, race or whatever. But, eventually I realized I was better at either working on the race cars or talking about them than actually driving. So, but so then I started talking to George Bauman, actually, because we kind of got in touch through actually streaming high school hockey games. He actually introduced me to the people at Plymouth. So I started working there. And then I moved on from Plymouth. I actually started announcing outlaw carts up at the Thunder Hill Raceway with Chad Cummings up there, and great people up at Thunder Hill. And then I was crewing for a couple years for some IRA teams and things like that. And actually, when Trevor Frank won his Sport Mod Championship, I'm sure he's watching. He'll love me for saying that. So I started crewing for a bunch of people, and then Steve approached me after the 2022 season and kind of said, I want you to be a little bit more involved, as I'd already, started my media company and things like that. So he kind of brought me on as, kind of a partner with Maddie to support Ray. And then when Ray left, we kind of took things over, and I think we've been, doing a fantastic job. And Maddie is such a pro, with everything that she does, and she makes the night go super, super easy. Maddie's always willing to take things on and, do what's asked. And, she doesn't get enough credit for what she does. I mean, flat out, she just doesn't. But yeah, I mean, it's been a blast doing it for, the past year and a half or so. And it's been it's been literally a dream come true to announce races for the IRA and at some of these tracks that, been able to go to, and the opportunities that it's opened up for me. And, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. And, this past weekend was amazing, seeing all the positive comments and things like that. I was floored by it because, as you know, Mike, and, everybody watching, I'm sure that social media can be a pretty harsh place sometimes, but to see all the positivity coming out of this last weekend was really, really cool. And, I appreciate it a ton, and the IRA does as well. And, I can't thank Steve Sinclair enough for giving me that opportunity to kind of step up and fill this void and, try and do the best that I can. So,
well, I also want to thank you and Maddie for, I mean, I know you were scheduled to be there already, but you kind of had to go above and beyond a little bit on Founders Night because I was stuck in an airport in Florida, and believe me, I was not a happy camper at all. And unfortunately, I didn't have my Flow subscription yet, so I wasn't even able to watch any of it. I was just Cheryl Cox was keeping me updated on text messages on what was happening. But I thank you guys for stepping in. And I mean, the Founders Night is a very special night at Wilmot because that's where the IRA did start. Thanks to Ray Toft and Junior Dodd and Whitey Harris. And Founders Night is a very special night. And, I appreciate that you guys jumped in and took the ball and ran with it quite well for, taking care of all the cars that night in an all sprint car show, and which we'll be having again on Fair Night coming up in August, on the 17th of August. I am not going on any airplanes, so I will be there that day to work with you guys. So I'll be looking forward to that. And also, you mentioned Steve Sinclair. I also thank you guys for helping me present my dad's award to Steve and to the Tennyson family on Father's Day weekend, just a couple weekends ago when the IRA came to town once again. It meant a lot to present that to Steve and the Tennysons, because both of them have done a tremendous amount for racing at not only at Wilmot, but in general. And a lot of people don't realize that. So thank you, Lauren, for what you do. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you on Flow. And is Maddie making the trip this weekend, or is she going to be at home again?
Oh, she better be. I mean, I certainly hope so. We missed her a bunch this last weekend in Indiana. Obviously, we had Drake York help us out the last two nights, and he does a great job, of course, after he's worked with USAC for a few years. But we definitely miss Maddie. She's a a big part of the IRA and what we do, and so she better be coming up to Out of Gaming, because I think it's the closest track to her, and of course, it's her old home track where she started working. So. Looking forward to having her back this weekend. And thanks for having me, Mike. It's been a good time.
All right. Thanks a lot, Lauren. And I know Maddie's watching out there because we saw her in the chat earlier. So we'll be looking forward to watching you guys on Flow on Friday night and maybe see you sometime over the weekend or on Monday. Take care.
Yep.
God bless. Bye-bye. Again, that was Lauren Kelly, the voice of the IRA this last week in Indiana. And he and Maddie will be the voice of the IRA this weekend at Outagamie on Friday. And on Saturday at Beaver Dam, and that's for the 410 cars. And then, of course, the wingless cars will be at Beaver Dam Saturday and Sunday at Angel Park and Monday at Wilmot. Again, that Monday date rescheduled. The carload and fireworks night, Wilmot Raceway, has been rescheduled from Tuesday, July 2nd to Monday, July 1st. Be there. Okay, we'll be looking forward to a great night of racing. The 604 winged crate sprint cars. We'll also have the non-wing sprint cars, and we'll also have the bandits. So we are now going to shift gears, as they like to say, to bandits. I believe we have 2 bandits that are waiting to join us. So if Kent can bring them both out of the green room, we'll do that now. We have bandit number 1 in the blue shirt. And the green backwards hat is Ricky Nelson. And bandit number 2, I can't quite make out what he's got behind him there. Some kind of a banner. Behind him is Bradley Becker, Taz Becker, as he likes to go by. Welcome, gentlemen, to the program. And tell us, we're going to start off with Taz first. Ricky, we'll go with him first. You had a great run the last time we were able to race at Wilmot a week ago Saturday. So tell us a little bit about that run for you and also why it was extremely special. I know it was a tough night for you because you recently lost a crew member.
Yeah, no, it honestly starts. It's a brand new car and we've been fighting some bugs in it, but got really lucky with the pill draw with not having our heat races, and it put us on the outside pole. And car just ran awesome. The whole race was dialed in up high. When I had to go low, it felt good. Car was really good. And unfortunately, teacher got beat by the student, and my buddy Ryan ended up snagging the win from us right towards the end. But all in all, it was just a lot of fun to be back in the car, and had my crew member that we lost way too soon, Jacob Bolus. You could feel it. He was with us and pushing the car and making it go quicker every time I needed it to. It was like nitrous from God in a sense. But no, it was a very good night. Couldn't complain at all with the way the night went for us, and hopefully we'll go back there Saturday and we'll just make it one spot better and make the student behind the teacher.
Well, there you go. Well, I'll tell you, Tiny Horse has been doing a pretty good job lately and running really strong. But a guy that's actually helped me out, I don't know what he's doing. He's moving somewhere, relocating. And I'll tell you, he's also jumped in and helped me out on the microphone. Ricky Nelson is joining us on the program. Ricky, welcome. And I'm not sure if we're hearing you. Are you muted?
Here, I know.
There we go. Oh, now we lost you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
All right, there we go. I was sitting up, the train's coming through, so I figured I'll come inside before we have the horn blasting through the live broadcast.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, Ricky, tell us a little bit about your season so far. I know you've been with me in the booth because you had some delays on getting the car together and getting it on the racetrack, but now you have gotten it on the racetrack. And what are the plans as the season goes along now?
Well, unfortunately, I was hoping to get out there on this Saturday, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make it this Saturday. Last race, car did pretty good. Let me finish the race. I went into the pits to go load it up and didn't have no gears. I looked it over this week. I noticed it's pretty much the shifter cable is just shredded, completely gone. I had ordered one from Napa. The guys over there are really great there in Antioch. They're really good. Had one in the next day. Unfortunately, it don't fit on there. So as of right now, I'm kind of dead still in the water again until I find a shifter cable for my car. If I get one by Saturday, I'll be out there racing. If not, maybe I'll come up there and sit in a booth with you again and do some announcing with you.
Well, that'll be all right. That'll be all right. And actually, we've relocated. We're now going to be announcing most of the time from the veranda, from just outside the door there to the tower, is the plan. So we've got actually, thanks to Jim Pody, we've got a microphone jack out there and everything. So we're going to go outside,
Okay.
which a long time ago when I announced at Rockford Speedway, when I went over there. The first night I showed up, I went in the tower thinking I was going to be in the tower with everybody else, the scorers and everything. And they go, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to announce." And they said, "Our announcer announces from out there." And they pointed outside the window down in the grandstands where the people are. And I said, "I can do that." So I did that for a year out there at Rockford, and it gives you a different perspective, definitely. But they actually, David Deere used to sit next to me with a micro or a radio, so he could fill me in on any penalties that were being handed out, things that were changing up in the tower. He could let me know what was happening. But and I've announced outside at Wilmot a few times, and
I remember when I was a kid, you were out on that little hay wagon in the infield, pretty much announcing that. It's pretty much the last memories I had. I don't even think you guys had the tower at all. I was always out in the field.
The tower we've only had the tower for probably, I don't even know if we've had it 10 years. It hasn't been long that it's been up there. And now with the new grandstands from coming in from the NASCAR track in Rockingham, I know, Ricky, you know how many rows it is up. I think you counted, just like I have counted.
It's
Taz,
a good.
I don't know do you know how many rows are in the new grandstand? This is a trivia question. We'll see if you get it right. If you get it right, you get to start on the poll this week. Actually, I can't do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. As long as Brad lets me use his car.
I was gonna say I'm phoning a friend. Ricky, help me out.
Right. Heck, I know when I walk up there, it's a lot. I'd have to say pretty close to almost about 30 or so.
Oh, you're not close.
No? How many?
I believe now I'm going to have to count them again this weekend. 56.
Is it really?
There's 56 rows all the way from the bottom to the top.
Like I said, I know it's a lot when you walk up there.
That's for sure. You definitely get your steps in.
When I ran you down the lineup that one time, I think for the wingless when you were down there on the bottom there, it's like, man, this is a pretty far run.
That it is. So, well, now you guys have both heard the announcement. Things are getting moved from Tuesday to Monday because Mother Nature sounds like she's not going to play nice on Tuesday. So we're going to try to get ahead of her on Monday. And now we just lost Ricky, maybe? I don't know. I see Taz. I don't know where Ricky went. We'll see if he comes back. But anyway, Taz, there's Ricky's back. So what does this change your guys' plans now, having one less day to get the car prepped? I know Taz, talking off mic, you said, "Hey, this is fine. I already okayed it with my boss. I got both Monday and Tuesday off if I need them. So I'm ready to go racing." Ricky, what about you?
I mean, it's, it depends on if I get my car ready or not. Like I said, if I can get it going, I'm going to be at least trying to go for the first. I mean, to me, it's not that big of a deal. I know a couple of drivers, they're mentioning that they're not sure, with the new shift, if, what they're going to do with work, if they can possibly get it off. Hopefully they'll be able to get it off and change it around. But, I mean, hopefully, it's the right call, and hopefully we can get in Monday night and do some racing, and hopefully everybody can show up and we have a good night of racing like it normally is every night out there.
And like the nice thing too with our class, unlike the wing guys and everything that gotta tear everything apart and get everything cleaned out, really we just gotta make sure, we didn't bend anything or, have anything cracked. maybe
Correct.
wipe the car down a little bit and reload the gear one more time and make sure, the helmet still fits. But other than that, no, it's just turn around and, as the show says, let's go racing again. No holding back. So,
And
Yeah, it's not.
go ahead.
Our weekly maintenance, it's an amount, decent amount. Look over everything, like Brad said. I mean, but when you got the sprint guys and modifieds, that a lot of times they're breaking motors down, they're getting them refreshing, they're doing what they got to do to, for them to do everything in a week. To them it's not the hardest for some of the guys, but for us, you look at it and it's like, man, these guys put a lot of work in to get into their cars every week. To us, it's like Brad said, we just make sure we don't bend axles or, anything's not loose. And it, to us, almost takes like a full day, for us to look over our cars pretty much, and we're ready to go racing,
Well, and that's the one thing. I mean, when you look at it at the beginning of the year, you look at the schedule and you're like, oh my goodness, that's a long schedule. There's a lot of race nights in there. But now, I mean, we're getting to the point where we're almost halfway through. And the cancellation last week was their third lost night out of 7. Mother Nature has not been nice so far this year. And actually, if you want to count in the monster trucks, they moved their show from one day to the other. So, so now you're looking at half of the shows that have been scheduled at Wilmot thus far this year have had to be canceled or moved. And so, we have no control over Mother Nature.
Absolutely not.
In all the years I've been around racing, there's been seasons where we've had no rainouts. Like last year at Wilmot, we didn't have it. We didn't lose any. It was raining right around us. It was raining 10 minutes from us, and we were able to race. But now this year we've already lost 3, and I can remember when Ray and Joan Toft had the track. There was one year we had 0 rainouts. The next year we had over half of them.
Right.
So it's just the way it is. And as Tiny Horse says, 2 of the nights that we've lost already have been the Bandits. We're scheduled on those nights. So hopefully Mother Nature will be nice here on out, and we'll be able to have some fun and get some racing in, because that's what everybody wants to do.
Yeah, Mother Nature's been horrible all around, though. I mean, out west, south, it's not been really nice to the racing community, I would say, all around the Midwest area, really. I mean, you got tracks that are flooding, tracks that are, I mean, you got motorhomes. What was it out there in South Dakota? I can't remember exactly what track it was, but they woke up with 4 feet of water and their motorhomes and trailers were completely flooded, and I mean, that's not something you expect the day they go race, like you're expecting to get into your cars and now you're pretty much getting pulled out by a tractor.
Well, and that, I heard David Gravel just put something on his Facebook page. He's raised some money that's going to go out there to Huset's, to the people of Huset's. The World of Outlaws were scheduled for a 2-day show out there. And one of the shows was going to be paying $250,000 to win. And a lot of their rigs, a lot of the drivers were already on their way there. From what I've heard, there were some of the drivers' motorhomes were among the 20 motorhomes that were completely devastated or junk. And, so your thoughts.
They weren't cheap
with them. No, and motorhomes are not cheap.
No.
I mean, fortunately, the main thing, no lives lost. Eventually those motorhomes can be replaced. But that racetrack, it's going to take a long time for that racetrack to come back. I guess they are scheduled to go back to Huset's in the fall, and they're hoping by then everything is back together and they're able to race. But, you never do know. And, so that's just kind of the way things go from time to time. So, now coming up this weekend, you guys have been off for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Off for 2 weeks. Ricky, you don't have your car ready and you've been off for 2 weeks? What have you been doing?
I just put a post out on Facebook. I am looking for somebody that's a little more mechanical on these cars. This is all new to me, Mike. Like I told you my story, it all started with my dad when I was a kid. Like kind of like Rusty said earlier. I used to crawl on his chest when he was doing his oil changes and stuff like that, fall asleep. It was always a dream to do this, and now that, I got a family that, that stands behind me, and my friends that are standing behind me. I got a little bit extra money. I can get myself in a car. And to me, it's a dream that comes, that's coming true. It's, if I finish dead last, if I finish first, I finish first. It's, a dream to do it, but if I can't do it, I don't do it, and it's hard. I work every day. And by the time I get home from work, the last week it's been 90 to 100 degrees. It's like I get home and it's like I don't want to go sit out in the garage or out in the yard and mess with my car, even though I should. It's no excuse because if you want to be a racer, you're pretty much putting hours in the garage until your car's done and your work's done and you're ready to go. But as a one-man person right now, I got my father-in-law that gives a hand. Without him, I'll be pretty much doing it all alone. I want to thank all the Bandit drivers. You guys are, I reach out to a lot of you guys. They're really great guys. You guys watch us on the track. We're competitive. We fight for our positionings and we fight for the win. But behind that back wall, that stretch, we're all, friends. We're all good people, and
family, Ricky. I mean, that
we are family,
It is bigger than any division in any state. Our Wilmot Bandits, there is no other racing class that is more united than our group.
Yeah, and I will fully agree. I mean, I reached out to so many of them and gotten so much, advice and info from McKellips to Walters to, Jay Orr himself, Brad himself. Brad let my son, ride in the car last Saturday when they did the national anthem. Didn't even know about it. And I see my son driving past on the track. It's like, oh, hey, so, I want to thank Brad for allowing him to do that too, and that's, like I said, that's what we're all about. We all come together. We're all friends and we're all family pretty much at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, we're running out of time. I know you guys want to thank, of course, Scott Carpenter and B&L Office Furniture and American Tire and Auto Repair for stepping up and being marketing partners of your division this year.
Absolutely.
I mean, they've done a lot for you guys, and some of it you'll see at the banquet in January, but some of it you've already seen. So that's really great for them. But we don't have a lot of time left, so I want to give you both your chance to thank whoever you need to thank, and especially your marketing partners. And since I went with Taz first, I'm going to go with Ricky first this time.
I ain't got too many out there. I just like to thank my family, my friends. Like I said, my father-in-law that gives me a hand, all the time that he can. A couple sponsors, Hat Tricks, Sorrento Homes, M&M Auto Salvage that I have out there. B&L Home and Furniture with Scott, Carpenter helping us out this year, doing what he did. I'm gonna have a new one. It's gonna be Mastro Mutts. It's gonna be on my car soon. So other than that, I want to thank Wilmot for giving us the time to come out there and race, and thank you for letting me be on the show, and thank you for being the best announcer that we can have up there in that tower every Saturday night.
Thank you, Ricky. Okay, Taz, it's your turn.
Yeah, definitely Scott Carpenter with B&L Furniture, American Tire. We got Mound Road Mini Storage back on board. He's been with me forever. Can't thank Brian Bickle enough for that. Elkhorn Automotive and Tire. They've been with me from day one, pretty much, racing back in 2001. Just picked up Doorbanger Graphics, new company right here out of Lake Geneva, trying to get their feet wet. They've lettered my whole car so far this year. They've been awesome. That's about it this year. I'm used to having a lot more on the car, but My wife, she's been awesome. We got the car. She actually moved her car out of the garage so we could get it ready for race season. And that made me pull it out of the garage since it came home. So big shout out to my wife. No joke. She's amazing. All 6 of our kids went from 2 to 6. So yeah, made the family a little bigger. Big shout out over to Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson. Opening night we had some issues and he jumped on right away to help us get the car fixed. Kind of like my silent teammate, but yeah, Tiny Horse and Taz Motorsports are strong together. Yeah, I think I covered everyone, and if I didn't, I'm sorry. You guys hit up, yell at me, and we'll get it right next time.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for coming on. And don't forget, American Tire's got that car show on Sunday, 10 to 2. You guys are certainly most welcome. Yep. And Saturday, I've got a parade here in our subdivision. We're going to have Touch a Race Car. Scott Carpenter's coming. Also, Brandon Murtis is coming. And if we're bringing the pace truck there. If you guys are interested, talk to me offline. I'll get you the information. And it's from 11 o'clock till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Plenty of time to get up to the racetrack.
So, Mike, you're really saying we got 3 nights because, we got racing Saturday, got to be at the car show Sunday, and then back at the track Monday.
Monday, yeah.
That's right. You guys are just like the wingless this weekend, All right. Thanks again, Taz. Thanks again, Ricky. And we'll see you guys at the races on Saturday.
Thank you.
Take care. God bless now. Well, that's going to wrap it up. We do want to touch real quickly, though. Of course, Great Lakes Dragway is racing. John actually got tied up working at the track tonight. Of course, tonight is ladies' night as we speak. The ladies taking on the guys. And again, that's a Great Lakes Dragway. They're going to be doing it until about 10 o'clock tonight. So you can go out there and take in some racing. And also, 1 week from tonight, Wednesday, July 3rd, we will be broadcasting live from Great Lakes Dragway, 6 to 7 o'clock. Come on out and see us. Come on out and see some racing. And again, Wilmot moving the fireworks and carload night to Monday night. This Monday night, July 1st, carload and fireworks night, Wilmot Raceway, and also Wilmot Raceway racing on Saturday night as well. So until we see you next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening. The best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks. Good night. God bless. And let's go racing.